Hey y'all. Recently, nope. Hi y'all. Recently, I thought of something, and I was at work, and one of my jobs is being a cashier, and I work inside of a mall. So in the mall, at this restaurant that I work at, there's a glass panel, and then sometimes you'll look inside a glass panel and see like displays of food. So with us, we make our food fresh, so there's nothing really to see because everything is freshly made. We don't really put anything out on display. We don't put anything really. So there are times where customers come up to us and come up to the glass panel, look inside, don't see anything, then walk away. And then, of course, go to maybe a pizza place or a sandwich place, and they'll see displays of food in there, right? And then they'll be like, oh, okay, well, I see what you have, so I'm going to go ahead and have some of your food. And there are many times where customers will come up, they don't see anything in the display case, but they'll look up at the menu and say, okay, well, they have this, this, and that. Let me order this, right? And I thought of the scripture in John 20, I believe, in 38, where, let me pull it up. So I'm reminded of the scripture in John 20 where it says Jesus just rose from the grave and came out of the tomb. Okay. Came out of the tomb, right? So he sees the disciples. Some of the disciples are like, okay, boom. Okay, you back? That's what's up. Thomas, there's a guy named Thomas, and Thomas was like, man, he's not back. Like, let me see his hands. Like, let me see those nail-pierced hands. And so the Lord appears to him. Jesus appears to him. And he says to him, Thomas, put your fingers here, put your hands here, where you can, touch my side, so you can see that I was pierced on my side, I was pierced on my hands. And then Thomas finally was like, oh, it is you. And then Jesus says, because you have seen me, you have believed. He was telling, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. And correlation, because there are times where God just really wants us to be on our faith tip. Like, you don't see it. There is no display of what I'm showing you. There's no display of what I'm doing in your life. There's no display. There's no blueprint. There's not a step 1, do this, step 2. There's not really a manual to your life in a sense, because I'm doing something new, God. I'm doing something new for you, specifically for what I want you to do in life, right? Because a lot of times we'll want to see what God is doing. Well, let me see it before you tell me to go on this journey. Well, let me get all the plans in place. Well, let me know what you're doing behind the scenes, or before I give this money, or before I do this thing, before I write that book, before I sell this show, before I talk to my parents and forgive them. Like, what's it? Basically, like, what's in it for me? Like, what you gonna show me? And God is not like that. Majority of the time, he'll be like, nah, man, you just gotta believe what I'm saying. And we're like, huh? And that's why the scripture says, walk by faith, not by sight, right? So there are times where it's like, all right, what God has for me may not be on display because it's not ready yet for me to see. Or it's like he's not still creating it, but it's still being unveiled to me in increments what it is. Because I've heard tons of stories where people were like, man, if God would have told me I would have done this, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I would have said no. I've been like, no, I ain't doing it, right? And I thank God for those moments where it's like, okay, I'm learning so much about God and myself and my purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I say all this to say, just because you're not seeing something doesn't mean it's not happening, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. God got your back, but you do need to have faith that it's going to work out, whatever that thing is for you. So that's my spiel for today. Yeah.